Hello and welcome. I'm an 18-year-old entrepreneur looking to document parts of my life, hoping to find some meaning in my ideas just by putting them out there. The reason I'm here in the first place is due to a YouTube video by Matthew Park. Seeing someone younger than me, with a purpose, moving towards goals, made me realise I've got to attack my life with greater urgency if I want to be proud of it in the future. So here I am tackling one of my biggest problems at the moment, which is articulation. You don't even know how many times I've re-recorded this intro. Communication and confidence. So the plan is simple. I'm going to document parts of my life, whatever happens, school, my entrepreneurial ideas and execution on those ideas, just to figure out how I'm going to escape the rat race or the feeling of insignificance within the world, even if it's just a part-time thing in the future and it's not a full-on career path. The point here is just to experiment and find out where I want to go and hopefully inspire some people watching if they do watch, and if not, I'm still getting something out of it by practicing my articulation and creative skills by documenting my life as I'm doing now. So I've spent the last 18 months probably religiously on YouTube, spending way too much time learning and not implementing, and now when I'm actually take some action as inspired by these younger entrepreneurs and personal brands that I've been seeing popping up on Instagram and YouTube. So as of now, the 14th of March 2026, I'm going to be committing to a vlog upload of my life every 1 to 3 weeks, depending on how many interesting things I do, how much progress I make and how much value it is, because I don't just want to be recording my life and it being boring and me staying stagnant, which is what I've kind of done, because I have been practicing on my phone, just articulating thoughts. So I've got a bit of practice, but I really want to put it into a full-time project that's going to accelerate the rate at which I improve. The aim of this vlog in general is just to provide some value in any way, whether it's just through my personal gain or gain to the viewers at home, or by building a product that is documented through this that can help other people in the future. So I guess here it goes. Let's document my life. Never done this before and we'll see how it goes. So it's currently a Saturday evening and the plan for this evening is just figure out what I want to do and how I want to do it, and using the resources that I've already got to figure out what I want to do for entrepreneurial endeavours wise. The point of this documentary is planning that idea and going through those processes. So I've got Charlie Morgan's Imperium Academy that I started back in October of 2025, and due to schoolwork and procrastination and the length of the videos, I haven't done it just due to a lot of time investment that is needed for that. So I'm going to be going through some of those videos this evening and then some school revisions since I've got a test in 5 days. Alright, so I thought I'd just come on here and say a few things, give a little insight of what I've just watched from a pretty controversial, but in my opinion, very logical person, Roy Lee. If you know about Interview Coder or Cluely, or have just been on X or YouTube for any amount of time, you'll know about this guy. But the main mindset shift I've gained from him is to push the boundaries more than you realise you actually need to. Obviously don't do anything completely outrageous, but push the boundaries of what you're currently doing and don't care so much about what people think of you. I think too many people get hung up on that and it prevents them from moving forward. I've had this issue myself with wondering what people will think of me, whether that be vlogging or starting a business or cold calling or things like that. You often get some fear of doubt of what will the world think of me, or what will I do if somebody finds out and it doesn't work out. The point is, push the boundaries of what you currently believe and go out there and build something that you're proud of, or make something of your life, whatever that wants to be. So I'm going to play a clip now of about 37 minutes in of the Jack Neal and Roy Lee podcast that I thought was relevant.
In life, you can always get exactly what you want as long as you do the two things of take big risks and work hard.
This kind of comes back to a point Tristan Tate made about a 1950s man not believing that a device in your hand could possibly hold all of human knowledge. I think modern day humans have got too much choice and that often overwhelms them. So me personally, I'm trying to draw back with what I'm watching, watch less, create more, and do more with what I actually watch by watching meaningful content and not short form slop. So that's the theme to end this week. If first weekend, and we'll see what happens next week. So this week's been relatively good, got a lot of work done. So we'll see what happens, and I'll see what new information I discover next week. Right, so I haven't vlogged in a couple of days just because I've been in schoolwork, and it's currently like 7:30 in the morning. Today I'm going to a science fair at college, so we'll see how that goes. We've got a few lessons. Other than that, I'm just going to be spending all evening revising, so pretty boring, but I'll update you when something interesting happens. Alright, so as per my previous clip, I have gone to a STEM fair at college. And I was only allowed to pick one session to go to, whereas in fact I went to 3. Just because I could. Nobody was going to stop me. I technically signed up to all 3 because the system let me. And I made the most of the time that was there. The time I was at college, I made the most of that time because I wasn't going to do anything else. I could have just revised. But those 3 hours gave me more inspiration than I probably would have spent revising. So this is a sign just to take the opportunities that you've got, make the most of the time that you are given, because you never know where it will lead you in the future, what information you might gain, and what ideas might be created from that experience. Alright, so today marks the day where my 626-day streak on Duolingo and 50-day streak on chess.com ends. I've invested a load of time, initially with Japanese on Duolingo, and then I've invested at least a couple of waking days in chess in the past 5 or 6 months. And I've quit them both, even though I relatively like chess and did like learning Japanese, just because it was a waste of my time and I couldn't see anything for it. It was something that would fill parts of the day. I wouldn't really see anything for it. It would compound, definitely, but I wouldn't be able to use it at this stage in my life actionably like I would if I directed it into learning something different or practicing a skill I already am building upon. So I just thought I'd share this life lesson. If there's anything in your life that isn't going to benefit you in the foreseeable future, and you are spending at least 10 minutes a day on, whether that be scrolling social media or learning a language or whatever, really evaluate if it's worth your time investment and see if you actually want to continue with it once you realise that you could be spending it on something that would matter and would move you towards your main goals in life. Alright, it is another Sunday and I've achieved quite a lot this week and also haven't moved towards my goals as much as I've wanted to. I've been thinking a lot about saving time by scrapping authenticity or putting a lot of effort into trying to be authentic and as unique as possible, and what that means for anything in life, any sort of project or endeavour that you're going to pursue. My first kind of entrepreneurial endeavours were trying to start a mental health company, helping people with mental health. This was in like late 2024 I thought of this idea and tried to message people on Discord and that what they thought would be the best opportunity that I could succeed in this. But to actually build a business that wasn't just a basic course, I needed a huge amount of startup capital, and things like BetterHelp already existed, so I wasn't really going to go anywhere with that idea. Then there's doing something incredibly generic at the moment, like building an app using Claude Code. You know, you could just build an alarm app or another to-do tracker or another vape quitting app or something like that. And I didn't think that that was the kind of path I want to go down. But you can also create something unique within that kind of generic theme of following the trend at the moment. So I've been watching a YouTuber, Otto Doe, on YouTube, and him and his brother are building an app that's trying to compete with Duolingo using Claude Code as vibe coders. And I think that's going pretty well. You can check those guys out if you want. It's about finding that balance between what's right and what's wrong in your idea of, or your main goal within the larger goal that you want to pursue in your life. I worded that a bit vaguely, but I hope you can see what I'm going at there. And of course, with myself only having a few hours a day to invest and being really full on with school, it's hard to fully commit to something. So I don't want to put a load of time into one project and it fail. I want to test out some more generic ideas of it and test the waters for things that could happen before continuing to actually pursue a specific idea of business endeavour. So we'll see how that happens, and we'll see what happens the next week. This is the second week of recording my life, and I have skipped like a whole week and a half. I didn't record at all, but that was just because nothing exciting happened. So this is going to be a 3-week documentary, but Easter break is coming up, so I'm going to be doing half of the day school revision, half the day of figuring out what I want to do. So probably there's going to be an episode a week for that one, for the 2-week break, but we'll see about that. So yeah, on to the next week. Alright, so it has been 4 calendar weeks since I've started this project, and I haven't really had much to fill up the timeline with. I've just finished editing some of the rest of the vlog, but I didn't want to fill it with unnecessary information or uselessness, because, you know, I could make excuses as to why I haven't been doing as much vlogging, like schoolwork and family stuff, but it's not going to be any value to you. So I thought I'd just end the vlog here. I'm going to try and do a vlog in a week, because I have got another week and 3 days of Easter break left, and I'm determined to try and do something, figure out something, and give some more psychological insights and think more about what I'm trying to get from this whole project in general over that time. So we'll see how that goes. If you have watched till the end, thank you very much, and if not, then it's great practice for me anyway. I'm trying to open myself up a bit more and not be as hunched over, obviously, and just try and find my style of what I want to do in life, because there's like I've said, many young people younger than me documenting their lives and doing more things than me, and I thought it's time to take action now before I regret it even more than I already do so. So thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you next episode.